know? Yeah. Like, I have bad anxiety, I get depressed, and so this whole thing has just been like super hard. And there's been like days where I'm like, I have an event tomorrow and I just can't go. I can't do it. I don't want to be Miss Teen Long Beach anymore. And like, I'll just stop. I just won't. But the thing that like kind of keeps me going is like knowing that, you know, this was like a gift. I was given this, and Lori was the one who like helped me get here. Right. And from that, like coming to this is such a big difference. And it's only been a couple of years, and I still haven't fully like kind of like told myself that actually happened. Most of the time I don't even acknowledge it. Right. It didn't happen, you know? The past, yeah. But, you know, other times where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I got to give up. And then I just think about like her being like, hey, you can do this. You're a princess. I know you're a princess. I can see it.
Okay, so how are you guys?
Good.
Excellent. Well, welcome to Gozo TV. I'm so excited to have you guys here. So the purpose of this show is to really highlight the story that you guys have been on. Have you guys been excited the last few weeks since you won? What was it like to win when that moment actually happened, Tony?
It was just so amazing. I feel so blessed to be here. I'm just on this journey with all these amazing ladies here. The beginning of the journey for me was actually a really big shock because this was my first beauty pageant.
That's amazing. So I can't wait to hear more about the actual adventure of everything that happened. So Stephanie, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Now you are Miss Southern California Cities, Mrs. Southern California Cities. And so tell me, what was that moment like when you first won and you heard your name announced?
Honestly, I wasn't paying too much attention because I was so excited that Zephyr and Taylor and everyone had already been crowned that I really just was like, okay, I'm ready to go home. But I still had to go on stage. And then Allison was crowned Mrs. Long Beach, which I was completely rooting for her. She's awesome.
And we're missing her, by the way.
And we're missing her. She's very sick.
We can't wait to have you, Allison, back here maybe next time.
She's awesome. So we were all so excited. And then when I did get crowned, honestly, it was, did that just happen?
Yeah.
Because I just watched my daughter be crowned. And so for me, it was just, I love you. And I can't believe that just happened. It was very much disbelief. But
well, I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for being here. So now we also have Taylor Cassidy, Miss Long Beach 2016. So for you, Taylor, what was that moment like when you heard your name announced?
Well, I've actually been competing in pageants for 6 years. Okay. I did so many that I started counting years instead of actual pageants.
Oh, nice. You're going five.
Yeah. Like, so this is the first title that I've won.
Oh, wow.
And
congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. My mom was competing with me. You know, she just spoke. But for me, when I heard my name called, immediately I looked to the audience because that's normally where my mom is.
Yeah.
And she wasn't there, and then I realized that she was on the side. So I was like, Mom, this is happening.
My goodness.
Yeah, so it's really exciting, and I'm super excited to be able to share this year with all of these girls and have them as my sparkle sisters, as Allison would say.
Sparkle sisters, I love that. So Zephyr Zimmerman, welcome Zephyr, it's nice to have you.
Thank you.
So Miss Teen Long Beach is quite the thing. What is that like to win Miss Teen Long Beach?
It's crazy. Honestly, I have been competing for this pageant for 3 years with Taylor. And I know Canella was her second time. Right. So we all kind of know each other. But finally winning was just like, I was like, yes. You know, because like the first year I did it, I was runner up. And so the next time I did it, I was like, oh, I'm probably like, I have a good chance. Right. And then I didn't even place. And so I was like, oh, you know. So this time I just kind of went for it, like for myself. And I didn't really expect anything to happen. Okay, and I just felt really good. And then it just happened. And I was like,
oh, wow. Well, congratulations. So great to have you. So I'm also excited to have my own daughter, Canela. So Canela, you are Miss Teen Southern California Cities winner. So tell me, what was it like to see everyone else But yet when it finally happened to you, what was that like?
The feeling of winning was just such an amazing feeling. I was in shock. Basically, I had no idea that I would be the one that was crowned because I didn't think I did that well overall. Like in my heart, I was like, eh. But then I don't know, I just guess that all of my work that I put into it and all the practice and stuff like that really came through. And then when I saw Zephyr get crowned, I was just so excited to see her. So I was like, oh yay, you know, I'm super happy for her. I didn't expect me to get crowned at all. So when I did, it was just such an amazing feeling, and knowing that I won was just such a cool thing. Yeah, I've been one year for a while. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations to all of you.
Thank you. Yeah. Well, I remember when I was younger, I don't know when it was, but I remember like seeing a girl with a crown and a sash, and I was like, oh, what is that? It's a princess, you know? And going to Disneyland, I remember seeing a crown and stuff, so I think that princess kind of mentality when I was younger, I was like, oh, that'd be so fun to be a princess. And so that came to my head when I competed in the pageant the first time. I was like, oh, that'd be so fun to win, because, you know, that happened to me. I like, you know, wanted to be a princess and everything.
Can anybody relate to that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I know what that's like.
Yeah,
sure.
So just that whole thing. And then when Erica Abke asked me to compete in the pageant, and she really helped me, guided me last year, it was just a really cool adventure, I would say, because I learned so many new things. And since last year was my very first pageant ever, you know, that was really cool. And what the pageant actually represented was like really part of the reason why I wanted to.
So I never really ever wanted to do this. I'm more of like a tomboy kind of girl. And, but first year I competed, I actually was sponsored by somebody. Her name's Lori. Okay. And I had been really ill at the time, but I was trying to bounce back, you know, back into things. And she really wanted to, you know, sponsor me, make me feel good about myself, and like be a princess, really. Yeah. So she paid for everything. I met so many people through her, and ever since then, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be a princess. I'm gonna win. And so yeah, and now here I am.
Yeah.
So it's very distinct for me.
Okay.
I was 8 years old, and pageantry kind of runs in my family, obviously, because that's my mom.
Yeah, so wonderful.
Yeah, and she was Miss Santee.
Okay.
I'm not going to put a year on it unless she wants to.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
I love you.
Yes.
So her mom became the typical pageant mom, became best friends with the director, then started running a pageant, and eventually took it over. So when I was 8 years old, I would go to all the rehearsals that they would have, and all the girls would be practicing their walking routines, and I'd be the little girl on the side doing it with them and trying to pick up whatever I could. And at one of those rehearsals, I tried on a dress of one of the outgoing queens, and obviously she was in Crown and Banner, so I was freaking out because she was a princess. Oh, wow. Like all of us want to be.
You're 8, I mean, can you imagine?
Yeah,
wow.
You know, and little girls look at me like that now, so I completely understand both sides of it, and I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
But that's really where it started for me, and then I started competing when I was 14, and now I'm 20, and here we are.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How exciting.
For me, it was just a new chance that I took, to be honest. Erica Abke, she asked me to do it. Shout out to Erica.
Yeah.
Ooh, we love you, Erica. She just, you know, really took me the time to explain to me what the pageant stood for. Not about, you know, strict set, you know, this is the right way to do it. She just, you know, said, look, this is for a chance for you to showcase yourself and your personality to the world. Really just take it and be who you are, be who you can be, you know, and just do it full-heartedly. So that's what I did. I really took a step out on faith on this one. You know, I prayed about it numerous times before it happened because I was so nervous. Yeah. You know, I was telling her, Erica, I don't, you know, is there a talent portion? You know, do I have to like juggle flame batons? Like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
That? I want to see that right now. No. Who wants to see that, right?
Right. Man. But, you know, I was really nervous about it at first. And, you know, she just, no, you'll be fine. She just calmly reminded me every time. And then, you know, when I showed up, I met all these beautiful ladies there. And to be honest, you know, this journey has been really great. I've met a lot of really sweet people who have helped me and guided me along this way. I've just stayed true to myself the whole time. Actually, when I won, I was very shocked. My mom was sitting in the front. And when
Your mom is here in studio.
Yeah,
so
my
fun.
mom is here in the studio. Hey, Mommy.
Yes.
When they called my name, both of us looked at each other like, what? Tony Jenkins, you know, and she was she was just like, what, Reagan, they called you. And so, you know, the journey for me, I think what really just made me decide to do it ultimately, I would say just the fact that I was taking a chance, like we were talking about before, when the opportunity's presented to you, just do it full-heartedly and do it to your best ability, but stay true to yourself.
That is powerful. So it's wonderful to have you here, and thank you for sharing that.
Thank you. When we had our interviews with the judges right before, I think that was the moment when I kind of was going back in my shell and got a little nervous. I don't know about for you guys,
relate
but
to that? Yeah,
but for me, I think that's when I was kind of like, oh man, this is getting real right here. You know, we had to sit outside the door and sit in these chairs and wait, you know, and everything. And so that was when, you know, when you're quiet to yourself, your mind gets to going, but you know, you just have to stay present in the moment of what's going on. So I just kind of quietly, you know, said a prayer to myself, like, you've been invited for a reason. Just stay true to yourself. Remember that, you know, God has taken you on the ride the whole way. Right. You know, everyone's here to showcase the different beautiful parts about them. And if you win, great. If you don't, you know, at least you were here and blessed to have the opportunity to meet people. Yeah. So I think for me, that was the crisis moment. And then, you know, blossomed out of it into the interview, you know, just went and talked to the judges, laughed with them. We had like 3-minute interviews with each one of them, and it went by really quickly. So I think everybody was kind of confused afterwards, like, I think it went well, but I'm not too sure, but it was fun though. It was fun, you know. Is
that a nerve-wracking moment when you're talking to judges and you're questioning the answer?
Yeah, a little bit, because you're just trying to get, you know, all your answers in and be as honest as you can. Right. I guess I could say, if you guys agree with me, but it went by really fast, but it was very fun, the whole process.
So I think for me, it was even deciding to do the pageant. Okay. So almost 2 years ago, my son was involved in a pole vaulting accident, and he underwent 2 brain surgeries. He had brain trauma. And so for about year and almost a half, each of us, my daughter, my husband, myself, put our life on hold. We all kind of moved back in under one roof to kind of pull our family back together. Yeah. And
that must have been
it was very crazy.
What did you learn in that through that season, through that time?
I was surprised at, you know, as a parent, I think the greatest blessing is to have complete strangers tell you how your children have touched them or moved them or motivated them to do something, do better, give back. We're always constantly being told by teachers and strangers what our kids did wrong and not what they've done right.
We never hear the good things.
We never hear the good things.
Until it's too late sometimes.
Seriously. Right. And we had so many friends and family and schoolmates and peers and the pole vault community pull together and just pray that he truly is a miracle. The healing that he's done truly is a miracle. And so in doing that, and even in just volunteering, one of the very first things that any volunteer should remember is self-care. Well, when you have a trauma like that and it's so impactful, you forget to self-care. So after
you went through that yourself,
I went through that myself.
Lost yourself a little bit,
and so did my daughter. Because both of us. Sorry, but understandably, both of us were caretaking, right, and doing all that kind of stuff. And so, in an effort to kind of bring each other out of that and start to refocus and heal, because right now, you know, that first 18 months was getting him better and him healing, while the rest of us kind of got put on hold. And so pageants for her was a way to kind of refocus and do something mentally, emotionally, physically that heals her, spiritually that heals her. And unfortunately, she wasn't able to compete in the USA system last year. And instead of doing that a few years ago, I lost a bet with her.
She did.
I lost.
Tell us about this bet.
So I lost a bet with my daughter, and the consequence of that was at some point in my life, I promised to do like a mother-daughter pageant with her. And so
It worked out.
It worked out. I felt like at that opportunity, that was what we kind of needed. I knew that Long Beach was coming back up, and she had participated with Zephyr a couple of years before, for the last couple of years. And I thought, what better way? Like, I love Justin. I love the community action team. I love what he does with all the community service. And so what better way to try to self-care and kind of get back to be normal life than to do this with my daughter.
The moment of crisis that you were experiencing, what was that like for you? And what was that moment of grace in your life?
So I feel like my brother's accident was definitely a moment of crisis, but my original moment of crisis started when I was 15.
Okay, tell us about that.
Yeah, so from the time I was 15 to the time I was 17, almost 18, I was actually in a teen dating violence and abuse relationship.
Yeah, so that must have been tough.
It was definitely tough, and especially because when you're in high school, you have, oh, my first love and all of that stuff, and everyone tells you there's going to be so many more, but you're like, I don't want to hear it because he's the one.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but he wasn't, and it took me a long time to fully comprehend what was happening. I think somewhere around a year, I realized that it was definitely a toxic relationship. And I wasn't ready. I didn't know how, because I was scared and because of the things that were going on that nobody knew about.
Of course.
And so the pressure from everybody saying, I don't understand why you don't break up with him, it was really hard to deal with, because while you can tell that it's a toxic relationship, you don't fully comprehend what's happening, and there's repercussions. I tried breaking up with him 3 times.
Yeah.
And I finally was like, you know what? I really don't care about the repercussions right now, because I have people who love me, just like everyone who is in one of those relationships. Like, everyone has people who love them. And you have to realize that the people who are telling you you're in a toxic relationship, those people care about you. They love you. And it's okay. Like, it took me all the way through my brother's accident, which was through my freshman year of college, to tell my mom everything.
Yeah, and what was that like when you got to that moment to talk to your mom?
Well, my mom's my best friend, so I tell her everything anyway. So
What a wonderful thing.
yeah, so it was hard though, because there's certain aspects, like when you're talking about sexual abuse. I made a comment, and I don't remember exactly, and I pardon my graphicness, but I said something, and she was like, "That's really serious. Like, you're acting like he raped you," and I was like. I was silent because I didn't know how to respond. And it's hard. Like, people don't think that you can be raped when you're in a relationship, or just because you consent one time means that it's an always thing. Yeah. And that's not the case. Yeah. And I was like,
She had never said it out loud.
Yeah, I never said it. And I've only said it a handful of times, because it's still something, it's like you feel violated, of course. And it's something that's hard to admit. And this same person actually kind of terrorized my life for a year and a half after. And restraining orders were in process, and it's hard. But that was my crisis, of course, where that was something so negative. And through the year and a half, just going back to, what is meant for you will not pass you by. I've done this pageant 3 times. The last 2 times, I hadn't come to terms with what had happened. I couldn't have given the title a purpose. And this time, I've come to terms with it. I'm prepared to talk about it. And I've partnered with a couple different organizations, No More and Break the Silence of Domestic Violence. And I'm actually going back to my high school, which is where it started for me, to talk to all of the students about teen dating violence and certain red flags that you have to be aware of when you're in a relationship, or thinking about it. Things. Yeah, but also to know that no matter what, there are people who love you. There are people who are there for you.
That's
and
right. You
there's
guys gotta hear this.
organizations.
Go for it. Do it.
There's
Tell them.
organizations that are there that will provide you with the things necessary that you need to learn more about your situation or to help you get out of your situation. People will drop everything for you, and I'm one of those people. So it doesn't matter if I know you or if I don't know you. I'm always that person that I get where you're coming from, whether I've been there or not. And if it's in relation to anything really, but especially this one because it's so close to my heart, teen dating, violence, and abuse it's just not okay. And people sweep it under the rug, and that's not okay either.
Okay, so when I was in 7th grade, I got toxic shock syndrome. Depending on like who you are and stuff, you could be more prone to it. And so yeah, it's not about like, you know, how long you go, like whatever, but it's about how your body reacts to those type of products.
It's a reaction to a product.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
People
yeah.
need to know, right? To be aware of
Yeah.
those things. Okay, great.
So anyways, so I got that. And I was hospitalized for almost a week, I think. I don't really remember any of it because basically what happens is the blood in your body gets poisoned. Okay. And so when it circulates through your whole body, you just start to shut down. And so when it happened, like I thought it went to like 0 to 100 real quick. It happened really fast, and it just started out like as like flu symptoms, you know? And then I blacked out. And then that was it. And
you really blacked out. Like you lost consciousness.
Yep.
And you're just gone.
I remember I woke up on the bathroom floor and I was like, Mom, I'm not feeling good. I don't feel good.
And you were 15, 16?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about that time. And like she was freaking out. Like I could tell. She was trying to keep her cool, but yeah. So I don't really remember much after that either because I was just I was in shock for the whole thing. But after I got better and stuff, you know, I mean, I have school. I have to go to school, and so like
life continues.
Life continues, yeah. And that's when stuff started to get like really hard for me because, you know, I had been gone so long, and I looked like I had just died. Like honestly, like I lost so much weight, and like, yeah, it was really scary. And so everybody would be like, Zephyr, where were you? What was wrong with you? Like, are you okay? And like, and then I'd tell some people, I'd be like, hey, you know, like you can get this, and like it's a serious disease, and a lot of people die from it. And they'll be like, you have AIDS?
Oh, so you had to deal with that?
Yeah, and they'd be like, do you have an STD? And I'm like, you're so dumb. Yeah. No, it has nothing to do with that. It's just, it's completely different. And so like,
so on top of what you're feeling,
yeah,
people's stupidity.
Yeah, and people were like, and like people would bully me about it, and they'd get on me, and like I couldn't go to school. I didn't go to school for the rest of 7th grade. I was homeschooled for that entire year. And then through all of that, I was very, very depressed. I was just like, what is the point? Like, if everybody already thinks like this of me, like, why did I even live? Yeah, like, you know, I was just like, what the heck? Like, I just like almost died, and you guys are like, you know?
So the bullying was just...
It was bad. And like, I don't know, but yeah. But then, you know, the good stuff.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. But then Lori, she was like, you know, Zephyr, like, I know you're a really good kid. And like, because I had already done volunteer here and there, you know. And she was like, I want you to feel special. I want you to feel like a princess. And I was like, okay. Like, I'm not really about that. Like, I'm just in my bed sleeping all day. Like, okay. And she was like, no, come on. You're gonna get out of this shell, and we're gonna go do this. And so we did. And I got runner up, and I was like super stoked. And then the next year I didn't even place. And I was like,
back down in the...
I was like, yeah.
Wondering again.
I was like, what the heck is going on? Yeah. And then this year, I won, which was really amazing. And I wasn't really trying to win or anything. And I think that's part of why I actually did win. And I was super excited and it was great. But like, you know, we always talk about winning and we're like, oh, we won and it's great. But we don't talk about like the after, especially now because we have all these events that we go to and like we help out and stuff. I've never been so busy in my entire life. And it's hard. Like I thought like I was busy before, but now I'm busy now. And like I have bad, like I have bad anxiety, I get depressed. And so this whole thing has just been like super hard. And there's been like days where I'm like, I have an event tomorrow and I just can't go. I can't do it. I don't want to be Miss Teen Long Beach anymore. And like, I'll just stop. I just won't. But the thing that like kind of keeps me going is like knowing that, you know, this was like a gift. I was given this, and Lori was the one who like helped me get here. Right. And from that, like coming to this is such a big difference. And it's only been a couple of years, and I still haven't fully like kind of like told myself that actually happened. Most of the time I don't even acknowledge it. Right. It didn't happen, you know? The past, yeah. But you know, other times where I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I got to give up. And then I just think about like her being like, hey, you can do this. You're a princess. I know you're a princess. I can see it. And so I'm just like,
you are a princess.
Okay, I'm a princess now.
She's a queen.
She's a queen.
For now, I think just from hearing everyone's stories, you guys can see what that love looks like. It's just like a big beacon of light. You just are blossoming, and you know, it's kind of like a weight lifted off your shoulders, you know, because there's so much pressure in just media today or in the world to what perfect looks like, or who we're supposed to look like, who we're supposed to act like. And I think for winning this pageant, you know, it really has showcased just staying true to yourself throughout the whole journey, and that it's okay to, like we were talking about before, not having everything together, because eventually everything happens for a reason. Everything's gonna fall in place. So that's what love is really all about, just taking the journey for how it is and knowing that it's gonna be okay. So for me, that's really where I am today in my life, is knowing that it's gonna be okay no matter what. You know, seeing all the children, especially from the parade, when we had the Christmas parade, I think that was a really big moment for me, riding in the car with you, Taylor, because like, you know, so many kids and just people, they're just so supportive out here. They're just, yeah, Tony, Miss Southern California. I'm like, hey, you know, like, I don't know you, but hey, you know my name. You really are encouraging me on this journey, and I can appreciate that, especially since, you know, don't live around here, but you know, now Long Beach is becoming like a second home to me.
Winning and having the title is more than just the crown and the sash, right? It's even because of how involved Justin is with the community, it's more than even just a microphone for your own platforms. I mean, you've got like stage to do whatever it is that you feel is important and whatever moves you. And so it's been a pleasure for me to kind of get back to those roots and feel good about where I'm spending my time, right? I mean, wherever you spend your time, it's always kind of an option. Sometimes if you have in-laws and you're married, sometimes it's less of an option. Right. But so thoroughly, the things that I already have in my life, like we already adopt animals and rescue pets, and we have our entire life. And I do have 5 fur babies at home, and
so a good connection.
Oh my goodness, very good connection. Getting to raise awareness and funds and toys and play with the dogs. I love that. Yeah. But then to be that positive role model in someone's life. We had Taylor and I even this morning beach cleanup. We were there early, and because we were there early, we had to take care of some restroom issues. But coming out of the restroom, these 2 little girls. One couldn't have been more than like 3. The other one was maybe 5 or 6.
She was 9.
She was
turning
9.
10.
Oh,
Right, I know. I
yes.
actually told you, huh?
Excuse me. My apologies.
Yeah.
But just batting out, like, why are the princesses wearing crown? Where are they going? What are they doing?
Can I wear
Can
that?
I wear that? And just being that, right? We all kind of talked about that spark when we were little and what it meant to us. And knowing and actually just feeling, because you kind of know, oh yeah, people, right? All eyes on you all the time.
It's true.
Right? It is. It's all eyes on you
You may not know
all the
this,
time.
but it's so true.
It is so true,
I'm watching you.
right?
I know. You're all watching
Watching.
each other, right? Yeah.
But to do it in a positive manner and get to see that constantly because of all the different events that we do. At every event, there is some or multiple little girls that come up and they want your photo and they just want to talk to you and they want to, I took off my crown and sash and put it on her and took pictures
Imagine
and,
that.
and just that's going to be a moment for them in their lives, which may motivate them later. And not all pageants are run the same. Not all systems are run the same, but find what speaks to you. Zephyr and I were not these girls.
Yeah.
Just like Tony was saying, this is, I hope, breaking the mold of what people think a queen looks like, sounds like, speaks like.
right.
We are relatable people. We get down and dirty, right? We help, right? We like to eat. But we like to get involved. We like to work with causes, and we're real people, and we've had real things and real crises happen in our life. We're human. And if someone can relate to that and hopefully approach us and we can help even just one person, that is where the love is for me.
That's your love. Yeah.
That's my love.
It's strong. Yeah, you have that.
Why are we, my personal viewpoint, and I'm not super religious, but I absolutely believe in God. And why else am I here? I have something in me that if I share my story, whether I have similar domestic violence situations that I speak on, or it's my son's accident as a parent who's had a child and had to send them into surgery, and how do you make those decisions and how do you cope after if they don't heal back to 100%, and where do you find that motivation? If I can help one person, and I know I've already helped more than one person, but I try to find that one person who needs that. And for Zephyr, it's Taylor, when you need that one pick me up, it doesn't matter if it's your best friend, your mom, your parent, your sibling, a stranger that you just met, that you just smiled at. I met a new friend, Andrew, today. Sweet, right?
Yeah, he was cool.
He was very cool, and he was the light of my day today, and he blessed me with that today. So I hope that I can share that kind of moment and that kind of love and be that kind of spark for someone else that may be needed.
Like mother, like daughter, I guess. It's exactly the same thing. I've always been a very giving person. And so I guess that's kind of my mission is I'm hoping that by me sharing my story and making myself vulnerable to people that I don't even know, that, I can help somebody. And if I can do that, even though, like my mom said, like there's already been people that I've helped. Hey. But I don't even know who I'm quoting, but who said another one?
DJ Khaled.
That one.
Another one.
Thanks, Tony.
Do it. Go.
Another one.
Another one.
You smart. You loyal.
Oh, man.
Another one.
Another
Your whole life,
one.
haven't
Dream.
So, yeah,
I'm stuck on that.
Sorry.
Look him up later. You
you.
might want to
Okay.
interview him one day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dreams.
Key to success.
Yes.
Right here.
Yeah. But, that's what love is to me. That's what the love looks like. even if it's someone that I don't even know, because I'm hoping that whoever sees this, feel free to reach out to me.
4,000 people will see it.
All of you people. I'm looking for another one, apparently. So, if you're going through something, especially something that if something I've said has spoken to you, like, feel free to reach out to me, even if you just want to say hey. That's fine too. But if I can help you, or sharing my story, if you need more details, because you need to know that you're not alone. Like, I'm your girl. I'm the person that there's certain situations where I have a little bit of a rough time being vulnerable because of my history. But
understandably so.
Yeah. But that's like with perspectives. But I need like applications and stuff. Not that I'm accepting, but I think that sharing that part of me and being vulnerable about that is something that I don't have a problem with anymore. Because that's part of me.
And you have asthma, girl.
I do have asthma.
Yeah.
It was
Fun
so
fact.
horrible. And there were times that I don't even want to do it anymore. So I can totally
That's where
relate
my love's
to you.
at.
Yeah.
But at that same point, it was a blessing in disguise, because now I get to show it like where the real love is, and I get to help other people. And if I can do that, then that's what. Ultimately, I don't even care about like getting married. I'll be a cat lady. Like, if I can help,
Cat lady.
yeah,
40 cats.
cats are nice.
40 cats.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I might have to be a dog lady, because the litter box thing is not for me.
And you have asthma, girl.
I do have asthma.
Yeah.
Fun fact. But if I could do that, then I'll be happy. That's where my love's at.
So this year I was president. I am co-president of the Best Buddies Club at Poly High School.
Right.
Jackrabbits. And that has like completely changed my life.
Okay.
Like,
How's that?
let me tell you. Like, before I was a little nervous. I was like, I don't know, like if this is right for me, or and then when I just full on dove in, and I was just like, where has this been all my life?
Yeah.
Like, when I see, for those of you who don't know, Best Buddies is an international organization that helps create long-lasting friendships between people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and without. And they also focus on no job discrimination. So it's really cool. You should support them and check it out. It's great.
Do it.
Yeah. So anyways, when I, when I started in the club, I didn't expect it to be as much as it is, but now I want to be an occupational therapist. I know what I'm going to do with my life. And when I get to see my friends and stuff from that club, it's the best. I don't really have super close friends at school, but when I see my buddies, when I see my people, I'm just like, hey, I love you, and I love you too. It's great because there's no judgment ever. There's none of that. It's just we just hang out and we have a good time. And
what kind of things do you guys do? What is
we actually do community service. So we just did a canned food drive. Okay. We're gonna do letters to the troops. We want to have an art show for them and feature their art. So yeah, and we just hang out really.
Right.
And so I see them even when our club doesn't meet. I'll go and some people say I go out of my way, but it's not. I'm just hanging out with my friends because they're exactly the same as me. And I really stress that. If you know somebody in your life that has IDD, they're exactly like you, and they should be treated the same because they are. So yeah. And so that's really
that's your community, that's your tribe.
Those are my people. And
people are your peeps.
Yeah, and so it's just when I see them, everything's fine. Everything's A-okay.
That's
Vans, the shoe company, do you know how they made those ASPCA shoes where they donated a part of the money back to the ASPCA?
Okay, no, I don't know, but tell us.
Okay, well, so they did that, and I was thinking, I was like, animals are great, but there's people out there that need help too. And I was like, hey, I love Best Buddies. Keith Haring is the artist for Best Buddies. And I was like, why don't they make a shoe for Best Buddies that has Keith Haring's art on it, and then they could donate part of that money back to Best Buddies to help fund whatever.
Yeah.
And so I wrote up a little,
Proposal.
a proposal. Yeah, I had everything that they need, the like all the crazy stuff.
Purpose, vision,
yeah.
goals, how to, money, all that.
Yeah, and I sent it in, and immediately they were like, yes, we want to do this. We're gonna do this.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm so stoked. Like,
So you did that. Hey, look at
yeah,
that.
and
Dude.
so it's gonna take a long time to do. They told me like 2 years maybe at the fastest.
So are you envisioning already this shoe? What it
Yeah,
looks
like there has to be like there's rules to how it has to be and all that kind of stuff, but it's gonna happen, and so I'm really excited about that.
So what are you involved in?
So, as I mentioned earlier, I just recently partnered with Break the Silence Against Domestic Violence,
Yes.
which is an organization that shares the same cause that I do. And they have a website that, if you just look them up on Google, I don't know the exact website because it has, sometimes they do BTS for Break the Silence. They also have a Facebook page and Instagram account, and they're really helpful. They also do like a survivor retreat. So I get to actually go on that. It's coming up in February.
Have fun. You know where it is?
I don't.
Okay, have fun.
I'm just really excited because I know it's a really big part of the healing process,
put all
and we'll
these
be
links,
spending
by
the
the way,
weekend with
guys,
other
at the
survivors and getting to hear everyone else's story.
Look
I-
forward to hearing about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I know everyone's story is different. I'm starting my own branch of the No More campaign in Long Beach, so I'm going through all the paperwork and working with them for that. So you'll have to stay tuned and see where that goes. But I'm really looking forward to that and to promoting what's close to my heart this year.
So one of the causes that's closest to my heart is Promises to Kids, and they are a foster type agency that promotes, normally when children are taken out of their home for a variety of causes, they are placed in foster care. And it's very challenging for them that are either bumping from foster home to foster home, or if they had siblings and they get pulled apart. This organization helps them kind of keep life somewhat normal. So for siblings that have been placed apart, they host activities every single month to get those siblings together. They also have a camp once a year that's like 3 or 4 days, like each summer, where they can go and be together as a family. They also do other things like back to school shopping, because obviously if you're a foster child, you may not have the funds to purchase school supplies or Christmas shopping. I just did the holiday shopping with them, which was so awesome because, I did one at Costco. And so they go and they have a dollar amount and they're not allowed to buy school stuff. Like they have to buy gifts. Yeah. And so whether it's gifts for themselves or whatever, just to give them that little extra kind of, they are special and they are special in someone's life and they don't have to worry about where they're getting the money from. They do a lot of other things too, like, they take some of the high school kids.
Okay.
They put them through a program to try to get them into college.
Okay, so like maybe educational skills,
right?
college
Because
placement,
because
that
if you
kind of thing.
think about it, even just high school to graduate from high school, if you're not a foster child,
Gotcha.
is right X%.
Of course.
If you're a foster child, that drops. You divide that by like 5.
Yeah.
The odds of a foster child actually graduating high school is so low that with some of these programs, not only do they, they're called guardian programs, not only do they graduate, but then they go to college and they get jobs and they, kind of pay it forward. And to see all these different programs that they put into place just to give children who they did nothing wrong, right? To get taken from their home, but to give them a chance in life is fabulous. And I can relate with a lot of the kids. And while I wasn't taken out of my home, I understand what it's like to be scared to go to sleep every night and not feel safe ever. And I get that and I understand that. And so just to have this program that says you're important and we want to do what we can to make you as successful as we can because we expect that from you.
Well, today actually we just did, what was it, the 200th beach cleanup. We do a beach cleanup, 30-minute beach cleanup every third Saturday of the month. We actually have a bunch of events coming up, so if you guys want to come see us participate in the beach cleanup, it's right out here in Long Beach on Granada Avenue. Come, we give you free parking, give you your bags and your gloves. You'll see us. You can come talk to us every third Saturday. Remember that. We have the father-daughter dance coming up.
I love those.
Yes. We get invited to a lot of events, actually. Some of the girls are going to participate in being judges or crowning for the Miss Southern California wheelchair pageant, which is really great. There's so many different opportunities that Justin has given us. Justin Rudd and the Community Action Team have so many events going on constantly every single month. So if you guys go on the website, you guys will find where you can come get involved and come see us. Just come support and spread the word.
Thanks again for being here. Have a great rest of this day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye. All right, thank you guys. All right, yeah, give it up, give it up. Nice job.